Hello friends, welcome to CC Live Lectures. Myself Aditya P. Tripathi. I am here to continue our discussion on the topic of management accounting. Under that series of lectures on management accounting, we are dealing with marginal costing. This is going to be part 10 of our lecture series, and we are almost in the last leg of our discussion on the topic of decision making, that too with the limiting factor. Now we'll discuss about discontinuance of a product line. When I say discontinuance, we'll have to find out those products which are contributing the least to the production process, to the profitability. So when we have to make a decision, it is very hard to make a decision that we have to discontinue with a product. You must have heard of different companies dealing with different product lines. Some of them, they are acting as a cash cow to the company, they are giving maximum profit to the company, and some of them, they are actually becoming a burden for the company, but still somehow company continues. But when we deal with such kind of scenario as a management accountant, we have to be little logical. Not little, we'll say completely logical. We'll have to be completely logical into our approach when we are giving a decision, because we have to ultimately, what we have to do, we have to maximize the profit. So suppose if I have to make a decision for discontinuance of a product line, I need to be very logical that if a product is not contributing positively to my profitability, why to continue with that product? So we'll have to analyze on the basis of different options available. Suppose we have 5 products in our product mix. So out of 5, suppose if 2 or 3 are performing in a better manner, we can have different combinations. We can analyze the contribution of different products under different circumstances, and then come up to a conclusion that this combination is the most suitable combination for us, or it is the most suitable because it is contributing maximum to the profitability of our business enterprise, so that should be continued with. Rest all should be abandoned, or you can say ignored. So I'll be telling you in today's lecture how to go for making a hard decision, tough decision of discontinuing a product line. At times we go for discontinuing an old product or adding a new product to our system. There also we have the similar kind of scenario in which we analyze and try to come to a decision that whether to discontinue, why to discontinue this product, and what will be the impact of it on total profitability. That is something which we have to quantify in terms of rupees. We first calculate and then we justify that yes, it is going to be my decision. So dealing with product line extension, introduction of a new product, analysis on the basis of different options available, that is what we do in this segment of marginal costing when we have to make a decision. Now I'll be starting with the numerical problem where there is a company called Chitra Limited. It has some product lines reported. They are reporting about their product line, and this company is telling us that you have 3 different types of product, A, B and C. And they are reporting you for production units that A is produced to the extent of 3000 units, B is produced to the tune of 2000 units, and for C the production is 5000 units. They are also reporting you material cost per unit. Obviously it is in terms of rupee, 18 rupees, 26 rupees and 30 rupees. Wages are reported 7, 9 and 10, variable overheads 2, 3 and 3, fixed overhead 5 rupees, 8 rupees and 9 rupees. Now here you have to mind, fixed cost or fixed overheads are also given in terms of per unit. So very simple it is, whatever units of production are given, it is actually computed on the basis of that. The factory must have incurred a total amount on account of fixed overheads, and the same must have been divided by number of production units. So to calculate fixed overhead per unit, this must have been the modus operandi by the costing department. So fixed overhead is arrived at 5 rupees by dividing total amount of fixed overheads with production units. So 5 rupees, 8 rupees and 9 rupees is given. Very simple to calculate. 3000 into 5 rupees, 15,000 rupees will be fixed cost for product A, 2000 into 8, 16,000 rupees for product B, and for C it will be 5,000 into 9, 45,000 rupees. Right. So in this way you'll have to calculate the fixed overheads in terms of total value, and remember that will remain constant in total, regardless of the fact that whether you continue with all 3 products or you have taken a decision to discontinue. Up till now we are not aware what question is asking which product to discontinue, but total cost reported here is 32 rupees, 46 rupees and 52 rupees. So cost per unit for product C seems to be highest, because it is charging 52 rupees per, it is costing 52 rupees per unit to us. So this is my total cost as reported by the question. The question further reports about the selling price of 40 rupees, 60 rupees and 61 rupees, and then they are reporting profit, selling price minus total cost. So if you look at the profitability, rupees 8 profit, 8 rupees of profit is reported for product A, and it has been highlighted also by the company, because it is minimum in the range. For product B it is 14 rupees per unit, and product C it is slightly greater than that of A, it is 9 rupees. So if we talk about A and C, they are not contributing much to the profitability of the business enterprise in relation to what product B is doing, because product B is giving you 14 rupees per unit, whereas C is giving you 9 rupees and A is giving 8 rupees. So if you, frankly speaking, if you ask me, I would say A and C, they are almost close to each other. Now let us see what company has to say, what management of this company is saying. The management wants to discontinue one line. They have not mentioned the product. They are saying that the management wants to discontinue one line and gives you an assurance that production in 2 other lines shall rise by 50%. Now you have to understand, you'll have to first interpret what management is willing to say. Management is saying that we are willing to do away, we are willing to get rid of at least one product, at least one line. So out of A, B and C, this is for sure that management has made up their mind that they have to discontinue at least one line, right? But they are giving you an assurance that the moment you do so, the moment you continue, suppose for instance you discontinue A, the sales, or you can say production in 2 other lines, that is B and C, shall rise by 50%. So whatever existing production they have, it will increase to the tune of 50%. So if it is 100, it will become 150, right? This is the assurance by the management. Now the management is intending to discontinue the line which produces product A, as it is the least profitable. So as it was reported, out of A and C, which were giving 8 and 9 rupees, management is of opinion that we should get rid of this product A, we should discontinue this product A, cause it is the least contributor to the profitability of our business, right? Now you have to, what is required from you? You have to first answer to the first question, do you agree with the scheme in principle? So in principle, do you agree with the scheme of management? And if you say yes, then obviously in your opinion should product A be discontinued? So if you agree, why only A, why not C? Because B is the maximum profitable. C is also very close to that 8 rupees of profit which A is making. So you will have to give your opinion that should product A be discontinued. And the second question is, offer your comments and show the necessary workings to support your decision. So whatever decision you are giving, you cannot do away with this kind of question by saying simply yes or no. As a management accountant, you are supposed to offer your valuable comment. Normally it is said that passing comment is quite easy, but here when it comes to analyze certain scenarios, certain calculations, you will have to give your comment, you will have to give your inferences, and you have to show that if we are discontinuing with product A, what will happen? If not A, B and C, what will happen? So before I proceed with this question, let me first tell you what shall be the way of taking up such kind of questions. Remember, it's an open-ended kind of question. Sometimes students feel that sir will simply compare 8 rupees, 9 rupees, do the calculation of profit and say that if we do away with product A, it is going to increase our profitability because A is contributing the least, so we can divert the resources to B and C. But here we don't have any such scenario where you are diverting resources of A to B and C. They are simply telling you that if you are discontinuing with that, the production of B and C will increase. But again, remember, that is also a kind of diversion. So what we have to do under this situation, you have to go with the different combination. So if I am taking A, B and C, at least 3 combinations will be there. One when you leave the A, another when you discontinue B, and third when you discontinue C. So it is always advisable as a management accountant that you should show all scenarios and then come to a conclusion. First you do the calculation in all scenarios, that in situation 1 when I discontinue with A, what will be my profit? followed by what if I discontinue B, and then what if I discontinue C. And this is the easiest way of coming to a conclusion or giving a decision. And after doing such calculation, you can offer your comments and show the necessary working notes to support your decision, right? So with this understanding of the problem and the tentative way of resolving it, let us proceed with this question. Let us solve. Now what we'll do, we are provided with the information of sales, variable cost. So first step is that you first calculate contribution per unit of each and every product. This will form part of your working note. Remember, two things I always suggest in such kind of scenarios. First is calculate contribution per unit for each and every type of product, so that everywhere you're not supposed to do the calculation of contribution then calculating contribution per unit. It's better that you calculate contribution per unit for all variants of product first, and number two, what you have to do, you'll have to calculate the total amount of fixed overheads, so that these two computations are not required every time in all situations. So if we calculate the contribution of product A, B and C, sales minus variable cost, for product A, sales is 40 rupees and variable cost is 27, it is giving you a contribution of 13 rupees. For B it is 22 rupees and C it is 18 rupees. Now here comes the role of contribution. Earlier what was happening? When we were looking at the total profit, we were finding a very minute or slight difference of rupees 1 only when we are comparing A and C. Here what is happening? Contribution of A is 13 rupees, but that of C has become now 18 rupees, cause its variable cost is less as compared to selling price. Its selling price is significantly on the higher side, or you can say it is highest, and variable cost is not in that proportion. So obviously the product C is contributing greater than what product A is contributing. So here only it is decided with the help of contribution that the decision of management is going to be restored, because this is the point where you come to know that if I am going to do the calculation, this is going to happen. So some students say, sir, why don't you stop here only? Because examiner is asking you to show the comparative situation. You understand that with this 13 rupees and 18 rupees, we have a difference of 5 rupees per unit in terms of contribution. Obviously, C is going to contribute significantly. But what about the management? Management, will not get convinced with this idea of yours, because they will ask you to show the profitability. So once you have computed contribution, the next step is to calculate fixed overheads. So for all three lines of product A, B and C, we shall be calculating the fixed overheads. 3000 units you were producing for product A, and the fixed cost was 5 rupees. So 3000 into 5, it makes 15,000 rupees. For B it was 2000 into 8, 16,000 rupees, and for C it was 5000 units into 9, 45,000 rupees. And when we aggregate these fixed overheads, it becomes 76,000. Now remember, this fixed cost, unless otherwise mentioned in the question, shall remain constant. So with this understanding that my contribution per unit will remain constant, because it is per unit contribution. When you are changing your sales, your total contribution may change, but contribution per unit shall remain intact, shall remain constant, and the fixed overheads in total will also remain constant. Now this is part of your working notes. In your working, you have to first calculate contribution per unit for all three lines of product, and then you'll have to calculate total fixed overheads. Once it is computed, then you can go for calculating profit in all three situations. So let us go ahead with that calculation. I'm taking you to situation number 1. You have to write it like this only: if product A is discontinued. And this is the decision of management also. So you are taking a decision that I am going to discontinue with product A, and I'll have to see that what will be the situation of profit, and it is quite simple for you to calculate. First of all, let us calculate the impact of it on the sales of B and C. As reported in the question, what will happen? Sales of B and C will increase by 50%. So first of all, before we calculate the profit, we'll have to calculate the revised sales of B and C, and it will now become 3000 units for B, and for C it will be 7500. Because earlier for B it was 2000 units. When you calculate 50% of 2000, it becomes 3000 units. Because 50% will be 1000, 2000 plus 1000, total becomes 3000. and for C it was 5000 units. 50% of 5000 becomes 2500. When you aggregate them, it becomes 7500 units. So now you have, once you have computed the revised units of sales, see, in this question is different in this way, that unlike other questions where we tell you that these resources will be diverted to other products, remaining products, and they will actually increase their sales, the question is straight away reporting you that cause of this the production or sales of B and C will increase by 50%. So it is quite easy for you to calculate whatever the base sale is. You calculate 50% of that, add it to the existing sales and report the revised sales. So revised sales of B and C shall now be 3000 units and 7500 units. Now remember, when I'll go for calculating the profit, since I have taken a decision of discontinuing with product A, I'll only calculate the contribution, I'll only consider the contribution made by B and C. Now let us see the profitability in situation 1. What will happen? Contribution on product B, 3000 rupees into, now here comes the role of the use of that contribution which we computed just before, 22 rupees per unit. I told you we'll have to calculate contribution per unit. So here it is helping us. We can simply multiply this 3000 units by 22 rupees and we'll get contribution of this product B. It becomes 66,000. The same will compute for C. It has now become 1,35,000. When we aggregate them, it becomes 2,01,000. And since total fixed cost is known to us, 76,000, once you subtract it from total contribution, you come to know about net profit, that is rupees 1,25,000. So this is your profitability in situation 1. And what is situation 1? When you stipulate, when you recommend that I am going to discontinue with product A, which means I am going to carry on with B and C only. So this is going to be your total net profit, 1,25,000, right? This calculation we have done for situation 1. Now we'll do the similar calculation for situation 2 and 3 also, and then only we'll be in a position to give a recommendation that whether to continue, whether to reject A or B or C. So let us move on to situation number 2. Now what is situation number 2? We'll go for all combination, all permutation and combination. Second combination in line comes in front of us is if product B is discontinued. So if I am discontinuing with product B, what will happen? A and C will increase, their sales will increase by 50%. What is the sales of A? What was the sales of A? It was basically 3000 units. 50% of that becomes 1500. So total sales of A becomes 4500 units. And for C again, it will remain constant, 7500 units. Now we'll calculate the profit. You must have understood it is quite simple to calculate because contribution per unit is known to us. Contribution on product A comes to be 58,500 rupees because we are simply multiplying 4,500 into 13, right? So this becomes 58,500. For product C, it is 7,500 into 18 and it comes to be 1,35,000. And in this way, we have got a total contribution of 1,93,500. Remember, when we are doing this calculation, we have to mind that when I am saying that I am dealing with situation number 2, I have discarded product B. So the product contribution of B shall not be included. We are going to exclude it. We will only take up A and C, the one with which I am continuing with. So 4500 into 13, it will become 58,500. Contribution on product C, it will be 7,500 into 18, 1,35,000, making a total contribution of 1,93,500. And then we have fixed cost, fixed overheads are given. They are constant because it is already computed by us in our working note, 76,000, and here we have booked a net profit of 1,17,500. Now we'll also put this profit in store for future when once we are through with the process of calculation in all three situations, we'll compare the profits and make a judgment or make a decision. So net profit in situation 2 comes to be 1,17,500 rupees. And here what is happening? We are not going ahead with the decision of management. We are going with our own decision that B is discontinued. Now we'll again do the calculation, assuming that what if I am going to discontinue with product C? It means I'll be continuing with A and B. So what if the product C is discontinued? Remember what we are doing in this process. We are actually trying to go for a trial and error kind of situation. We are making a trial of all permutation and combination. First we started with what if product A is discontinued, then we went for what if product B is discontinued. Now what we are doing, if product C is discontinued, what will happen? Now first of all, the first step is what will be the impact of this change on the sales of A and B. Question reported you that it will increase by 50%. So the sales of A will be 4,500 units and that of B shall be 3,000 units. It means you are now discontinuing with product C and A and B will continue. So your contribution will be calculated for A and B only. So in this situation what will happen? Contribution on product A. Now you must be understanding what is the use of that contribution per unit which we had computed at the very outset. It is actually providing you the information in a very handy manner, and you are providing it beforehand. It is a calculated value. You have to simply multiply 4,500 units with contribution per unit of 13 rupees, and your contribution on product A is 58,500. For B again it is 3,000 into 22, 66,000. Total contribution becomes 58,500 plus 66,000. It becomes 1,24,500, and fixed overheads at 76,000. So if we calculate the net profit here, what happens? Contribution minus fixed overheads becomes your profit, because we all know contribution is equal to fixed cost plus profit. Contribution minus fixed cost will give me the total profit, and here the profit becomes 48,500. So once we have done this kind of calculation, we are now through with the process of all combinations A, B and C. We have done the computation for all three situations. Now what we'll do, we'll now have a comparative look at what if product A is discontinued, what if product B is discontinued, and what if product C is discontinued. Now if you present the data in front of your management in this way, obviously it is more convincing that if you go ahead with situation 1, your profit is 1,25,000. If you go ahead with situation number 2, you don't follow the you don't go ahead with the intent of management that they have reported that product A should be discontinued. You are saying no, B should be discontinued. Then your profit will be 1,17,500. And if you are going with another situation, that is situation number 3, making a decision to discontinue with product C, then obviously your profit will be 48,500, which is the minimum. Now anyone or everyone can easily give a judgment, or you can write a comment here that situation A is giving me the highest profit, hence we should go ahead with the decision of the management, and we should say yes to situation number 1. So this was the calculation part, the first part of the question, when the question was asking you to report the comparative situation of of discontinuing with different product lines. You have shown a comparative picture to the management that this is my profitability. Now what to write into your comment, that is again more important for you to know. What you will write your conclusion that out of 3 alternatives, the profit is highest when product A is discontinued. So this is the way you have to draw inferences out of the calculation. You are writing that out of 3 alternatives, the profit is highest when you are discontinuing the product A, and you would write hence the decision of management to discontinue line A is correct. It means whatever decision management has taken, that is correct in all manners. So my dear students, in this way you have learned how to go for analyzing different alternatives when you have to discontinue with the product. Now the same process can be applied for launching a new product also. If you have to go for discontinuing product A and you have to add product D, quite easy for you. That's why I'm not repeating it here. I'm not showing you further calculation. I'm simply telling you, just like you have computed the profit by discontinuing A, B and C, you can calculate profit by adding D, E and F, and then go for go ahead with a suggestion that we should add product D, we should not add E, or we should go for adding F. So in this way we can have a comparative analysis of different product lines and go ahead or you can say conclude with the product which is giving us the maximum profit. So in this way, my dear students, we have learned the different aspects of decision making. It was a little lengthy for us because in management accounting, when we talk about marginal costing, that too decision making, it becomes very lengthy because you have to deal with variety of decisions. So just to give you a recap of what we have done, what major decisions we have discussed up till now, because this is actually the 10th lecture in series where we were talking about the decision making in marginal costing. If you remember, we started our journey with export order, whether to accept the export order or not to, and I told you how to go for taking up an export order, whether to increase the limit or not, whether to increase your plant capacity or not. That was something which we had discussed already. Then we went for taking a decision of make or buy, whether to make a product or to buy a product. So under make or buy decision we had a discussion on this. Then we went for shutdown or continue decision, just like we have discussed about discontinuing with a product. Then product mix decision with key factor, without key factor, and we had also discussed about product priorities and dealing with multiple key factors. So I hope you must have understood all aspects of management accounting in terms of marginal costing and decision making. I hope you must have enjoyed today's lecture of mine. Thank you so much.